was started in response to a report that came out, a really troubling report in the fall of 2008 called Getting to the Finish Line, that tracked the class of 2000, Boston Public High School class of 2000, through college, and found that only 30% of the students that went to college from that class had actually graduated after 7 years.
I think kids have a tough time adjusting to campus because it's another world. The racial makeup of the student body at most of the schools our kids go to does not reflect the same racial makeup of their high school.
It was, first of all, it was a huge cultural shock. I sort of put too much on my plate.
Basically, I think we're student-centered. That's the biggest thing. Everything that we try to do right now is just to make sure that, we're always doing it in the best interest of the students.
We had a little disruptive technology several years ago, and so low-income people no longer had access to the freshest, healthiest food you can find, which is the farm fresh produce at your farmers markets.
Amazing young farmers who work incredibly hard and grow everything organically, so no pesticides, no chemical pesticides are used. They have beautiful tomatoes, blueberries, all of it fresh, local, and good for you.
And we produce a lot of organic food, like lettuce, kale, and collards and stuff. And it's part of the Regional Environmental Council, and that's a food justice program.
Food stamps are called now SNAP, that's the program. But I've fought very hard to expand the average benefit. It used to be $3 a day. I lived on a food stamp diet for a week to prove to my colleagues in Congress that people can't live on a food stamp budget.
What do I think is causing the school to prison pipeline? I think, first of all, we've gotten into a system where the answer seems to be that when a kid misbehaves, you get them out of school. And for that to be the answer doesn't keep kids in school.
I think it's just the point of, getting across, our need for change to the people in the government. And I think, going around to these places of power and really speaking out and letting people know is a way to make change.
It's so important to care about the school to prison pipeline, I think, for so many reasons. One, because our young people are getting stolen from us, and we need them. We need them to work, we need their ideas, we need their energy, we need their love, we need their passion, we need their creativity. We should care about it because, like, what are we gonna do without leaders?
My experience as an immigrant student is not as good because you can't do other things that other students do, like drive or get a job or go to the school that you want to. So it's not a good experience.
Legal is legal, immigrants is immigrant, undocumented, undocumented, but here we're talking about youth who came when they were 3 years old, 5 years old. They have been living their whole life here and they can't go to college.
And that the student immigrant movement stood up and decided to have a vigil outside the State House. And people just passing, they slept on the sidewalk outside the State House in rain or sun for over 2 weeks. And some people just passing by asking the students about the vigil joined the vigil, and it raised this issue to a national profile.
It's bringing the system to people that the system is ignoring, basically.
In general, civic education is important because it basically just teaches people their rights. You get to know, why is it important to vote? Not just because people tell you you should vote for the president, but why is it important to go out and vote and, have your voice heard?
Like, if I knew more about it and I knew what a city councilor did, maybe I would have interest in it, but I don't really know much of what they do and how and, what you need to do that, so I wouldn't say I really, try to do that one day.
It's showing them that, look, this is a system that works and you can make it work.
Our young civic leaders, they've been steady at the State House lobbying legislators to try to get pre-registration passed. They've been, you know, taking their own, becoming leaders in their personal lives. They've been taking steps towards college, doing SAT training. They've received trainings from some elected officials on organizing and different professional skills that they'll need to become all-around great civic leaders and leaders.
Having a summer job, it teaches me a lot of skills like responsibility and like how to manage my money, and sometimes I help my mom.
From the perspective of a youth worker and somebody that cares about youth jobs, it's like every year is different. You know, it's like, how many jobs can I offer this year? I don't know. How many jobs can I offer next year? I don't know.
It shouldn't have to be that someone dies to be recognized, or that someone dies for youth jobs to be put on like the front page of newspapers. Once Ival was killed, and because he was a leader on the leadership team of the Youth Jobs Coalition, it really turned around. And because the press got involved, we had both senators both Senator Kerry and Senator Brown making comments on it regularly.
We had a community action about a year ago, and we invited, like, you know, powerful people like the mayor's assistant on jobs, our Senator Sonia Chang Diaz, and they all said the same thing. They said, unless we hear from you, we don't know what the demand is. So anyone that's watching this, make the demand heard.